Hi everyone! In this tutorial, we'll create a cursor animation with an image trail effect. The small images appear and fade away when we move the mouse. We will build with React and animate it with GSAP. The design is also responsive and works well on all screen sizes. Let's get started. This project was created using Vite. Now, let's take a quick look at the project structure. Inside the public folder, we have 7 images, and all other files are inside the source folder. Let's start with the app component. We import the main component called CursorAnimation. Then we return it inside a simple div. Now let's move on to the main component. First, we install GSAP and its React plugin in the terminal. We import useEffect, useRef, and useState from React. They help us control values, store elements, and run code when something changes. And we import GSAP to animate the images. We also import the CSS file. We create an array of images. Each image is located inside the public images folder. Now we create the cursor animation component. Inside the component, we create a reference to the container. Then we attach it to the container. Inside the container, we have a title and a paragraph. Now let's move on to the CSS. In this part, we style the text and images. We reset the margins, paddings, and box sizing for all elements. Then we style the container to take the full screen with a dark background. We center the text vertically and horizontally. We use the clamp function to make the text responsive. The title has a glowing effect. The paragraph width is set to 50% to leave space on the sides. Now we create a class for the images. Each image is positioned absolutely and animated with GSAP. We also control the image's width and height ratio. We disable the pointer events so the images don't block the mouse. On smaller screens, the image size becomes smaller. Now let's move on to the main component. We use index.ref to keep track of which image to use next. This function creates and animates the image trail element. First, we create a new image element. We give it a class name for styling. Then we set its source to the current image in the array. We update the index so that the next image can appear in the trail. Then we add the image to the container. Now we set the image's starting position, scale, opacity, and random rotation. Next, we animate the image to appear and grow. After a short delay, the image shrinks and disappears. When the animation is complete, we remove the element to avoid memory buildup. These variables store the previous mouse position. The distance threshold determines how far the cursor must move before another image is shown. If the screen width is less than 900 pixels, the threshold becomes 90 pixels. Otherwise, it becomes 150 pixels. This effect runs every time the mouse moves. First, we calculate the cursor's distance from the last position. If the distance is greater than the threshold, we create a new image at the mouse position. Then we update the last position. We also clean up the event listener when the component updates. Finally, we update the distance threshold when the screen size changes. If the screen gets smaller, the threshold also decreases. We also remove the resize listener when the component unmounts to keep the app clean. And there you have it. We built a cursor animation that creates small images while you move the mouse. If you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more creative projects. Thanks for watching.